So the first thing that I put on here is it's a place to solve community issues. So this is where the collaboration will come in. I want to facilitate, when I think of the art community, I think of, and I actually am very specific on the artist community. These are people that are trying to make money by selling art. There's a lot of creative people, there's a lot of artists, but this site would be specific for artists that want to sell their work. And that, the people that I know, the artists that I constantly meet, they're compassionate, they're observant, they're passionate, they care about things, and they're always looking around, and they want to give back. They not only want to earn from their creativity, but they also want to give back to the community. And so when I say a place to solve community issues, this would be a place that facilitates that. The other thing is to organize the business of art. And as what that means to me is, I'm thinking left brain, right brain. The artist already got the right brain, creative side taken care of. It's the left brain that sometimes is not considered. So, using the word facilitation, this site can take care of the things, the business side of it, can help them with invitations, can help them with organizing their contact list, can help them with their inventory, which in this case is art, can help them with thank you cards. Features like that can help them run their business.
I wanted to actually make note of that. That's a nice differentiator that a lot of these, there are softwares out there that you can buy, these independent third-party kind of things that help you. I mean, even database programs like Bentu has got, stuff that you can create and track your own art or your own business kind of stuff. But what Scott's attempting to do is mix the business aspects of things and also, getting it to the artwork, but getting it to buyers, right? Those other programs don't really do any of that. They don't connect people. You can't query and search your database for somebody else's work. Like Scott says, if you wanted metal sculpture, here you'd be able to go out and you could find any artist who's got anything to do with metal sculpture, or even someone who might be a painter who has done something in metal sculpture, whatever. So that is a nice differentiator that you have.
The thing that the first couple projects that I'd like to work on with the site is one would be like how to make it a collaborative event. So a simple idea is publishing a book. So I was thinking that a great book that I think I would benefit from is I'd love to go out and have 30 artists tell me how they run their business, how they make their money, what's the successful way that they advertise their art, what their process is, what time do they work. All the details that would be interesting to me as an artist, I'd like to know, because I'd like to see if I'm doing it right, if there's another way I could be doing it, how I could be more successful. So I could create a page and have artists go and put this information. I can lead them through it with a survey, I can have them upload images, and I can get all that information. Actually, I could publish a book now with online publishing like blurb.com, lulu.com, where I could publish a book for $8. That's soft cover. I could publish that same book with hardcover for $16, one. Have it set up. So what we could do is we have the artist contribute their information, edit that, have it published, and then sell the book. And then what happens is the artist consortium facilitates all of this. They take a percentage. The participants get a percentage. You sell it on the website, you push it to Amazon, you use it as an incentive if you want to get people to become a member. So you start thinking of these projects that the site facilitates that benefits the artist, but it also benefits the community. One other quick example, and I will be quiet. One of my observations in the art world is that the artist is not fully integrated into events and often not fully considered. And that's another purpose for the Artist Consortium, is to get that creative perspective out front. So once again, going back to that left brain, right brain. I actually was recently in a show, and there was about 15 artists, and it was in this public space, and the guy that put it on he was a fire plug. He was awesome. He's someone that you would want to work with and put a show on with. But this guy was working with the city council, he was working with the code enforcer, he was working with the retail group, and he was working with these individuals that all had an opinion. And then he had the artist on top of that. So when he ended up creating the show, he made sure all the art was secure and was so far away from the curb and all these factors. Well, I went and looked at one of the pieces that I put in, and it stood about this tall. And I loved the piece, and if you stood back, it looked great. Well, what he had done is he built a pedestal around it, and it came up to halfway on the sculpture. And when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, are you serious? Like, you really have like this pedestal the reason he did is he put cinder blocks on top of it and then put wood around it so it wouldn't blow over and someone couldn't tip it over, and then he put mulch on top of the pedestal. So it literally came up halfway on the sculpture. And he didn't know when I'm like, so this is no longer my sculpture, it's our sculpture, we just collaborated on this. And he's like, well, I had to do it, you know, if a young child came up and climbed on it and jumped and got their mother to push on it, it would go over, and if an old person was walking down the sidewalk, they could trip over, you know, it's all these things. And they're all correct, he's right. But the problem is, he was coming from this perspective, and if he brought the artist in, we probably could have figured out a solution and figured out how to display that work where everybody was happy, and it also kept the integrity of the piece. The Artist Consortium, and I could tell you 100 examples just like that throughout the community where good things are being done, but they could be done better. And using software that's already out there, artists could put projects where they need help like that and say, what do you think? We could do this, we could go and help this person. People would volunteer, it would be done through the website, and they contact that, they work with them, and they get the artist out there. And, well, sorry, I'm adding other pieces to it. But anyway, so you bring the artist into it, and that would be a way that it's collaborating. It's connecting them, then you have your communication pieces, you use things like Meetup as far as coordinating events, and I don't have an end to that, I'm stumbling over it. But anyway, so there's things like that.
This is practice.
So there's things like that come as far as...
If I was the investor, you wouldn't want to do that.
No, I know. But anyway, actually, I wanted to stop at that point. There's just so many different... I'm really excited about this, but I'd be interested in just a little bit I threw out there if anyone has a thought or an instant reaction.
I'm curious what a couple of the young folks say. I'm looking at you two guys.
I like it.
But
what do you like about it? Because it's only half of what you put up there as far as features.
It's kind of a similar version of what we're trying to do, except it's the professional face of it, which is right. I'm not so sure about the search feature because I hate reading through search results. But you know, if it's got that kind of Craigslist feel to it, you know, because that's a particular type of people.
Well, actually, I like that response because, see, I don't like, Craigslist is kind of a model in some ways, but to me, the search doesn't take you to a Google list. It takes you to a page, but it also gives you an option like this isn't right. So there's kind of, I don't want it to, because if you have a search and then you go to just a list of things, then why don't you just go to the list of things, right? So somehow I want to keep it with this feel, this openness, and have it intuitiveness, because you can anticipate what people are going to be looking for, right? They're going to be looking for certain artists, they're going to be looking for certain art. So you can really understand that in advance and actually have a little bit of intelligence how to get them pretty close to where they want to be.
Philip, I sort of agree with you on the whole search part of it. And the thing Scott and I, we banter back and forth all the time and knock each other over the head, and that's why we like doing it, because we learn a lot of stuff. And when I've heard Scott talk about this in the past, one of the things like search, I would like to see that it goes out and it searches, but now it's bringing back not just the Google list kind of thing. Here are the people that sell metal sculptures. Here are the impressionist painters or whatever, right? Landscapes, whatever you're looking for, okay? But that it might also return more dynamic information, such as Scott's list, or the metals people that are in a particular area that you're searching for, Dallas, not San Francisco, okay? So you're looking for metal sculptors in Dallas, and it returns maybe a list of 10 or 20, I don't know how many are here, but then it may return even more results in such as, you know, you can look at the people, but then you go down one layer